All right, afternoon, guys. Hope your college football Saturday, week one, has gotten off to a good start. We're going to be taking a look now at our afternoon and evening games. Evening games, we'll give our leans and then an official pick later in the day. Probably won't be a video, but we'll make a post on YouTube to lock in exactly what the units would be and then what the play is. So first, want to touch on the South Dakota State, Oklahoma State game. That line did get all the way up to South Dakota State plus 13.5, and that is where we locked it in at. So we have 1 unit on that one. On our 2 morning plays, Clemson and Georgia halftime, 6-0 Georgia, very cagey affair there. Pretty anemic offense from the Clemson side thus far, and Georgia making some uncharacteristic mistakes, as well as some inability to run the ball, which is a bit surprising for them, as they have easily a top 3 offensive line. Other people would argue that it's the best offensive line, but I think there's a few that you would put in that category. West Virginia, Penn State, 13-3 right now. Penn State closing in on the end of the first half. You can absolutely see the impact of Andy Kotelnicki so far on the Penn State offense, but West Virginia fighting back. Some pretty interesting decisions by Neil Brown so far on a few, whether we're going to go for it, whether we're not going to go for it. Had an opportunity to go up 3-0 early, did not take the points, got stuffed, and you can see where West Virginia is moving the ball, but again, been unable to capitalize on some of that. So hopefully they'll be able to get that going in the second half and cover that number for us. So as we look into the afternoon, big game is going to be Miami against Florida. Florida at home. There's a lot of people saying that it's a must-win for both teams. Don't really see it as a must-win for Miami. Mario Cristobal isn't getting fired tomorrow if he loses that game, and they can lose that game. It's not a conference game and still very much make it to the playoff. For Florida, it's a little bit different. When you look at that schedule, you look at what they have coming up. Every win before they kind of hit that back stretch of their schedule is going to be really important. Graham Mertz, very senior quarterback, very careful with the ball, not going to take a lot of shots downfield, but also not going to turn the ball over. On the other side, you have Cam Ward, who is going to take a lot of shots downfield, very dynamic with his legs, was a prized recruit. Miami went all in on him, actually got him to withdraw from the NFL draft and come to Miami with the NIL package that they offered. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with Miami's physicality on the offensive line. I think they're going to be surprised with kind of how tough that team is, and the more and more that they're going to look like an SEC team. And then in terms of coaching, two coaches which have had game management issues for sure, but 2 excellent motivators, excellent recruiters, can put teams together. A lot of talent on the field between Miami and Florida. We are going to take Florida plus the 3. You can get that number at a few places. Nothing crazy on this one. Looking at a 2-unit play, big game, so we'll go above the 1 unit to have some fun. But yeah, 2-unit play on Florida plus the 3. Mainly that came down, if it was Miami plus 3, we'd be on Miami, but because Florida's getting the 3 at home, that's what we'll take. And another afternoon game, really trendy dog pick right now is Colorado State plus the 35. Well, depends on where you're getting. You can get Colorado State plus the 35, or you can get Texas minus 33.5, depending on which way you're leaning. Very trendy pick, though, right now from the public, Colorado State plus the 35. Reason is they have a very fast-paced, high-power offense. They have one of the best wide receivers in the country. Will be an NFL talent for sure. And Texas had a abysmal pass defense last year. Cost them the game against Washington, cost them a spot in the national championship. You also have the fact that Texas and Michigan are playing each other next week, and a lot of people think both Michigan and Texas will not execute all of their playbook as to keep things in the cards as they move into the next week. Sark did that exact same thing against Rice last year, the week before he played Alabama. I think they won 37-15, if I remember correctly, did not cover the spread against Rice. So a lot of people expecting the same thing to happen. We are going to lean the other way on this one. Quinn Ewers is the starting quarterback for Texas. He, in his first 2 years, have essentially had the exact same wide receiver set, and every single one of them is gone, which means he needs to develop a little bit of rapport with the new receivers. So I think that the playbook will be a bit more open than people think, and I think that they'll play a little bit longer than people think. And then when they do bring in the backup, well, it's Arch Manning, and Darrell K. Royal will be absolutely electric to see him. It was last year, got his first action against Texas Tech on Friday night after Thanksgiving, and I mean, you would think they just won the national championship with the way the stadium erupted. So it'll be quite electric whenever he does come into the game. So that's going to be it. That's one unit from us. Nothing crazy. Not a big game. Definitely not going to lay more than 1 unit on a team minus 35. Well, again, we're taking Texas, so minus 33.5. If you do want to fade that pick, though, make sure you're getting Colorado State at plus the 35 and not plus 33.5. And if you're with us and you're riding with us with Texas, get that at minus 33.5. So looking then further into this evening, one game that we will for sure have a play on, the Texas A&M Notre Dame game. We are leaning Notre Dame plus the 3. That number has gotten all the way up to 3. Quite surprising. I'm very surprised that there's books willing to give you Notre Dame at plus the 3. Kyle Field, night game. It's going to be very difficult. Riley Leonard, though, is a pretty experienced quarterback. New offensive system in at Notre Dame. Notre Dame will have some weaknesses on the offensive line, which Texas A&M should be able to exploit, but Notre Dame's defensive line is going to be one of the best in the country this year. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll give probably going to be a 2-unit play, but again, I'll make a post later, not a video, just a post on YouTube to confirm the number and the play that we have there. The other one that we're looking at is the Fresno State-Michigan game. Number's been around 21. I've seen 20.5. I've seen 21. I've seen 21.5. But we will take a look at that as we continue to move into the night. Not certain there'll be a play there, but if there is, we'll make a post, again, not a video, just a post on YouTube, and if there's anything else we'll see, we will as well. So happy Saturday, everyone. Hope the rest of the day goes well for you. Again, if you're betting with us, if you're riding with the Bald Father, please give us a subscription, a like, comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think I'm way off, if you think we're completely leaning in the wrong direction, or if you agree, let us know why. But see you again tomorrow. Happy Saturday. Have fun with the rest of the day and enjoy college football.